Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love is Blind UK Season 1, Episode 7.
I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, all the above. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
So, Kat and Freddy are out shopping. He's making some little jokes, talking about do they have a shoe in a size 11. She looks embarrassed and annoyed. And she tells us that she is irritated with him always joking. It makes her feel like that's like his friend and like she is his friend and not his fiance.
Yeah.
She asked, what would you do if I took you shopping? Which is kind of weird because like we are shopping, but I guess on our day to day. And he said he probably would just like sit on the couch and just let her do her thing. But that's not good enough for her. She wants a partner to actually shop with her.
Okay.
He says that he won't bring it up again. Because she wants her partner. Basically, she doesn't want to have to drag him around. Okay. So he says that he won't bring it up again. He strokes her arm and she tells him, don't pet me. I'm not a dog.
Listen here. You can't win with somebody who wants you to lose.
Pretty much.
Like the game is already set up for you to lose, Freddy. And like the way it's looking is you can't love somebody into being a good person. And so far, Kat is showing herself to be everything but nice, everything but patient, even to the point where she chose you or y'all chose each other. And I'm thinking by this time, episode 7, you said we on?
Yep.
There'd be a little bit more depth to her. And I'm still waiting to see it. What was your thoughts, Blair?
I think that she looks for problems. I don't know why him joking around got her so irritated. Yeah. I do understand that some people's like personalities or what they find funny isn't the same. And if she felt a way about him talking about a size 11 shoe, maybe she's just like, you're making me seem like this big clunky person, that maybe she could have expressed exactly what the issue was. But that's why I think there's not a real issue. I think she's just looking for something. Just like she said, well, how are you going to be when we're out shopping? And he's like, I just want to sit down and just let you do whatever. And then that's not good enough. Even though we're actually shopping and he's actually going around looking at things and trying to engage you in conversation while you're shopping. So it's kind of like he can't make the right move. No. So Demi and Ollie, they're going grocery shopping. They're going to make some dinner for her friends. He finds it difficult to organize himself. Demi thinks that he is a little bit chaotic when it comes to getting tasks done. Okay. He's nervous to meet her friends. And she feels that if her friends give the approval, that will give her the reassurance to introduce him to her family.
Nice.
My only thoughts about that was that, how do I say it? I think it's normal for you to want your friends and your family to like your partner.
It is.
But I don't think Demi should feel as though she needs reassurance or validation. If this is your person and you like them and you're getting along, introduce them to whoever you want to. But whatever. So maybe I'm picking. So
if you was to introduce someone you're interested in and all of your friends don't like them, that don't matter to you?
Well, I'd ask them why, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to introduce them to my friends first to be like a buffer before they meet my family. Like, no, I'll introduce them to whoever I want to. Okay. Yeah. So we've got Jasmine and Bobby. So she's felt insecure about him being on his phone. In past relationships with guys, she couldn't trust them to be on social media. Yeah. She does trust Bobby, but if he has any skeletons, he is going to experience firecracker Nicole.
Don't threaten me with your personality. And at the end of the day, you are the one with the insecurity. Your threats of who you are and what you like and what gets and like the skeletons in your closet, because your insecurity has nothing to do with me and things of that nature. It is so funny that these women who was basically out here trying to coach Demi and all through her relationship these past episodes, you got problems with someone on their phone?
Exactly.
Let's keep going.
So she saw his music video and she actually decides to pull it up and show it to him, which I guess she was trying to show the cameras because he already know what his music video looked like.
I know my song.
So she says, it's kind of romantic, isn't it? And he was like, well, I did it a couple years ago. I mean, it's not like I did it recently. It just annoyed her to see it. It's bringing up past things about where trust was broken. She just wants reassurance from him that she will be respected to her face and behind her back. Okay. He tells her that he is not interested in any other girls and he is looking forward to her becoming his wife.
So my music video, when I was trying to get my artist career off the ground, that bothered you? Like I don't understand this whole. First of all, I should have known something was up the minute that she said, I searched your name and this came up. And I'm just like, okay.
He does music. He's told you it's not a secret.
Exactly. Yeah. So don't make what I do and like, okay, it looks romantic. Well, the song is romantic. You get what I'm saying? I'm sure they're not making a Kid Bop CD. You get what I'm saying? So like this whole idea of these insecurities, and for her specifically to say Demi is insecure. Mm-hmm. Right, you are showing more insecurity with his career that has nothing to do with you. Most of these women that I've seen so far is showing insecurity, and Demi is not a special type of insecure that like the others are not. Everybody is showing their weaknesses.
Exactly. So Demi's friends arrive to their spot.
Nice.
They have vegan nachos because Ollie is vegan. They talk about their times in the pods, and they do touch on the fact that Ollie had 2 connections, but their connection was stronger.
Yeah.
James, the guy friend, asked if they've talked about long-term things, and they have talked about kids. He knows about her endometriosis, and he is actually open to adoption. We actually learned that his mom was adopted.
Nice.
So they both share the friends share that they do like him from what they've seen so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the end of the friends scene with them? What did you think about the friends meeting Ollie and how them as a couple, Demi and Ollie, showed themselves in front of her friends and things like that?
I think it went really well, but I also felt like they were comfortable. They were in their own space. Demi was around people that she knows and trusts. And I just felt like they did seem happy and they did seem, comfortable around each other. But I think that's also, if we're trying to compare how they acted around other people, like I felt like other people were constantly trying to keep stirred up between them or drama up to say like, y'all need to prove something to us. But I felt like they actually got a chance to relax, enjoy the moment, enjoy the friends that they were around. And it was a good interaction. It was good.
Yeah, this is the difference when these are your real friends, Demi.
Exactly.
Don't come over here when I'm trying to talk to you about us and how I feel in the previous episodes, and I'm over here saying like, you barely know this girl and you go defend this girl. Like, well, stop it. I know her, Ollie. You don't know her. Because this is what it looks like when people are for you. Number one, they don't stir anything. They ask questions because they want clarification on things they may not know. What is this process? You was talking to a wall for how many days and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I'm going to support this relationship because Demi loves this guy and she wants to be with this guy. So in this situation, it was night and day of basically how they were in the villa compared to how they were with real friends, real people that I believe have their best interests.
Agreed. So Kat goes to Freddy's house.
Nice.
She likes it. However, I couldn't help to notice what she was noticing. She called out broken doors, which there were some broken doors. Okay.
Was it broken doors or new doors? Because them doors
were leaning against the one when he walked in, and then it was his door up to his room it was leaning against. So I'm just saying the doors weren't put together. They weren't on hinges. So, but she did also point out that she saw a spider and that his fridge needed to be cleaned. And I'm just like, see, you're just looking for stuff. Like, you're just looking for issues. So she asked, has a woman lived here? Like, I guess just the way that it was decorated, she felt that it was kind of feminine.
And it looks clean.
And she was like, the mirror is glittery. She thought it was kind of fancy for a funeral director. And I'm just thinking to myself, what do you think a funeral director's house is supposed to look like? I'm just like... I don't know where Catherine like gets these judgments or thoughts. Like it's really out of left field to me.
Or to have like skull heads everywhere or something like that, like tombstone decorations as if it's Halloween all the time or something like that.
Well, she tells him his house is nice, and he says it might be our house soon. She apologizes for being snappy, and then he apologizes for pushing her buttons.
Yeah, here's the thing about it. I ain't think the doors are broken. Well, I know they off the hinges, but to me, I was like, oh, okay, he brought some new doors and things like that. I'm like, why is he taking his doors and moving it to the side and things like that? But other than that, it is a nice house. It's a very nice house, and it's not enough spiders or broken doors or a dirty fridge. It's not that important for her to point it out. Exactly. Here's the thing about Catherine. It's called backhanded compliments, and she don't know how to just give a compliment without chipping at him just a little bit, chipping at his accomplishments, chipping at his career, chipping at his style, chipping at him as a person. She just can't say this is a nice house.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? A spider is a spider. You get what I'm saying? So it just like, okay, I cannot apologize or basically give you a compliment without taking something away from you as well.
That's perfectly said. That is exactly what she does. But however, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that she's changing her tune now that she saw Freddy's house and, you know, is trying to maybe be on his good side because she sees the things that he can afford and maybe it's something that she wants to be a part of?
I don't think she's changing her tune. I think she has always shown herself to be toxic. I think she always shown herself to be consistent in being a bad person. I think she always shown herself to be inconsistent, which leads me to believe that maybe she ain't the only one that has a mental disorder or basically diagnosed as one. I think her behavior is very erratic. One, she's hot and she's cold. She don't know how to just be cool. So like with her, I think she personally don't like Freddy, but I don't think she's a gold digger for Freddy though.
Okay.
I think she's just okay, you are the person I'm with, I'm gonna treat you bad. I think it's that. I don't think it's so specified to Freddy per se. I just think it's in her character to just not be a good person.
Yeah, for real. So then we get to Maria and Tom.
Yeah.
So they're good, but she was annoyed to learn that he was judgmental.
Yeah.
She is looking forward to him meeting her family. She thinks it will go well. She just tells him to be respectful of her culture and her religion. She is proud to be Muslim, and PDA is not the norm for them. Her mom would be very uncomfortable and shamed.
What is your thoughts on that? On just that alone?
I think that it was important for her to tell him that, especially if that's not his culture or something he's accustomed to. So I thought that the debrief was necessary if you're going to be like in, you know, cross-cultural relationships or marriages or things like that. Those are things you have to communicate. It's not things that are just inherently known. So
the thing that stuck out to me is Thomas the one that I believe was the one that said he had visions or dreams of her on top of him.
Yeah.
And things like that. So even though he haven't shown himself to be very PDA-ish, I wonder with her culture what's the limits of his where his sexual curiosity can go. And stuff like that, especially with how he was talking in the beginning before he started judging her because she does makeup.
So he asked if her culture has had any impact on her dating life, and she says that she did not date because she didn't want to disappoint her family and specifically her dad. He asked, what do you think your dad would have thought of this? And she starts crying. Sometimes she just get caught off guard with the fact that her dad is no longer here, and she knows that her dad would have loved him and she would have liked for them to actually meet.
Nice.
So Catherine and Freddy shows what he would wear to work as a funeral director, and it was a nice suit. That's all I had to say.
No,
it looked great.
It looked very nice.
Yes. Then we get to Ollie and Demi.
Yeah.
They're enjoying spending time with each other. She notices that he paces. He's very impulsive and a bit impatient as well. And then he reveals to her, well, yeah, I have ADHD.
Was there any moment before he said what he had that like you thought something was off about him?
I really didn't think so. The way that she explained him being chaotic, I didn't quite see it. I know they tried to show it on camera because he was like looking at the lemons and talking about, I want to get some bananas while we're here and stuff like that. But that didn't like stand out to me in any type of way.
Yeah.
But I guess because she's around it all the time, she realizes like, oh, we can't ever just get something done. Like it's always like a squiggly line instead of like straight to the point.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't quite catch on to that. No.
I didn't think it was ADHD, but I did think it was something.
Okay.
Maybe like anxiety of some sort. Because if you watch the playlist, definitely check out all the episodes up to this point. There was a point in the episode where I said, Ollie, breathe. You get what I'm saying? Because it seemed like he was just it was like the walls was caving in on him.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I did not know it was ADHD. Apparently he came out in real time and let people know about his diagnosis and things of that nature. But it makes sense now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And he says that he has a severe case and it's something that he struggles with.
Yeah.
Small tasks actually take him a very long time.
Yeah.
And she tries to reassure him and tell him, you know, that might be something you're dealing with, but you do have beautiful words. The proposal was beautiful. It might have taken you a while to come up with it, but it was really amazing and I appreciated it. And she tells him, like, don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed ashamed of who you are. She's glad that he is opening up to her about that, because that's the vulnerability and that's a way for them to get closer.
Yeah.
So he thanks her for being patient with him. When he opens up, like, she finds it to be beautiful, and that is what makes her know that she really is falling for him and wants to marry him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing about this. One thing he said specifically was he said he never finished a book in his life. To the point he never finished a book. And I actually, what she said in response to that was actually my response as well. I'm like, well, he's very clear in his communication for someone who hasn't finished a book in his life. One thing that I did find funny that I don't know what it is about you women, but boy, y'all love when we open up, no matter if it's a good thing or bad thing. Man, he said outside of his family, he said maybe 2 people, maybe 3 people know about this diagnosis that I have, and like, you know, you're one of the 2 or 3. And she's like, really, me? And stuff like that. I was like, listen here, this is not a moment to be happy that, you know, that he shared with you his secrets. Even
but it's a step in trust.
I understand, but hide your excitement. Okay, hide your excitement.
I disagree.
That I have a disorder and stuff like that. Listen, women don't care what you share with them; they just want you to share. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
So Kat and Freddy meet Freddy's sister, his brother-in-law, the mom, and the brother. So the mom asked what it was like, you know, when they met each other, and Kat shared that she cried. Freddy asked what they think about them getting married. Mom hopes that it will be forever. And sister says, you know, we wanted Freddy to find someone and settle down. Mom tells her that he is extremely dedicated and loyal, even though the older ladies in the neighborhood, you know, like to check him out or whatever. So Freddy asks his brother Jack if he would be his best man.
Nice.
Jack doesn't quite understand, but we know he will understand the day of, and they share a moment where they have a hug, and you know that was very important to Freddy to ask his brother that. So
and it's very important to me to point out that one thing that they connected on was that, you know, he has a brother with Down syndrome. She said that she teaches children with Down syndrome how to swim. That's what Kat said she does.
Yes.
Right? I wish, and I'm not saying that she needs to go to the pool house and show us her teaching Down syndrome kids how to swim. I'm just saying this is 2 times now. These are 2 occasions to where we are seeing more of Freddy. Catherine, who are you? No, outside of what we've seen, outside of you being a liar, outside of you being erratic with your attitudes and things of that nature, you being prissy and you being sassy and things like that, who is Kat the person? And to this point, we don't know.
I feel like she doesn't want us to know. I think that the snarky attitude, the sarcasm, the just kind of curtness and rudeness, I feel like that is all like a way for her to protect herself. So that way, because like she says, she feels like she's not good enough for him. However, she's trying to flip the tables and trying to make him feel like he's not good enough for her because she's the one who really has the issues or insecurities and things like that. So I think that, you know, I think that she knows what she's doing is not going to be helpful to the relationship. But I think that she is just so used to being this way that it makes her feel safe and comfortable.
That makes sense.
If I could play therapist. So Tom meets Maria's family. So the mom is asking, you know, Maria, like, how are you really doing? She says she's doing good. They are happy. And the sister asks why they connected so quickly. And she says it was pretty much because of their humor. And she's kind of had to tell him to taper his humor around the family because it can be a little bit, you know. Okay,
a little bit dark.
Yeah.
A little bit too many Muslim jokes. You know what I'm saying? So
mom has been worried, but the sister says that they're all supportive, but it's just a very hard pill to swallow, and she begins to cry.
Okay.
And I would just wanted to say that you can tell they have a close family. Her brother was there. The sister's kids were there. And it just seemed like they were all very comfortable and like loving of each other and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I like to see that Maria has that support system. And my thoughts with like Tom kind of like coming into that, I hope that, I know we talked a little bit about Tom how he can be judgmental, and I guess we'll talk more about that and kind of where his head is at now.
Okay, I'm about to say, are you trying to make Tom interesting? Because they are not interesting to me. Tom and Maria are not interesting to me at all. I just really liked her
family. I really liked her family. So Sabrina meets Steven's friends and brother. His friends and family don't know anything about the experience, so he is going to drop the bomb on them today. He tells them about the Love is Blind experience feelings and everything that goes into it.
Yeah.
The friend thinks it's crazy and silly.
It is.
It took the friend 5 years to propose and then 2 years to actually get married to his wife.
Okay.
The brother asked about the distance, and they plan on keeping their respective places and their respective countries. That's just not really something they're going to try to tackle at this moment.
And guess what? It's not going to work then. It's not going to work then. Because if you just feel like that you can just do this major thing in your life and keep everything else the same, or basically delay it, procrastinate, and things of that nature, then guess what? The relationship may dissolve. And I understand it's a big thing, it's a big risk and things of that nature. But signing up for the show, you should have known that it wasn't like a in your city type of sign up. You know what I'm saying? It was UK. The whole kingdom is involved. So that put some question marks in my head about his friends and family. As far as we know, did not know. We gonna learn something about her side of the family later on and things of that nature. And then they're like, yeah, we just gonna keep our own place in our own countries. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I think y'all need to start thinking about how soon can y'all come together, pick a place to live, and be there.
Yeah, and I think I'm most turned off by that, because it's not only y'all don't have to come to a decision right away. Y'all aren't married. You don't even know if you're really going to be together, even though it seems like that is where they're heading. Looks that way. But y'all should be having that discussion.
Yes.
That should be a conversation that is on the forefront of your minds, because if you're talking about, oh yeah, we're just not thinking about it, we're not talking about it right now, then it could turn into an argument. So it's kind of better to hash that out now before y'all get married, if y'all don't want to have to go through a divorce.
And then I'm like, what the hell y'all be talking about then?
Exactly.
You know, but let's keep going.
So she shares that she quit her job and she wants to set up her own agency. She wants to get into consulting. He says that this is real and he wouldn't invite her to the family, to just anybody.
And listen, that's flight number 2. So now I don't know where we gonna live, and you just told me you ain't got no job.
Yeah, to me it sounds like then she need to move where he's at, because if she don't got no job, then she could start up her consulting agency from anywhere. And
how much would I have to put into this agency?
And that's what I'm saying. Y'all need to talk. Y'all don't have to have it figured out, but y'all need to like figure out what people's heads is at for this. So ultimately, the friends and family are just hoping that it works out for them. They assure Sabrina that Steven will give his 100% to her in the relationship.
Nice.
So Freddy and Kat. So the mom is talking about how cute and chunky Freddy was as a baby. Kat says that living together feels pretty normal. And Freddy brings up that they have had some disagreements. And Kat is like, just because of his jokes, he likes to wind people up. And the sister pulls Freddy for a chat. She can tell that he seems more reserved and not his like comfortable, happy, jovial self. Sister says that they seem like an Instagram couple, so you know y'all look nice. Yeah. And Kat seems nice, but she notices that she seems more outgoing, whereas Freddy is more of a homebody. Yeah. And the sister says, you know, don't put too much pressure on yourself. If she's not making you feel, you know, like you're good enough, which he did say that he's not sure if he's good enough. And the sister says, well, maybe it's that is she good enough for you?
And that's really the question. It's not about are you good enough? Is she good enough for you? Here's the thing about it. Is like the sister part of the cast?
No.
Do like the sister get like a secret preview that they get, that like the family get?
No.
So how does she get to read basically their relationship in this one meeting, and we on episode 7? She read the whole thing and things of that nature. Basically like, hey, she seemed a little, and here and that's another thing, and then we're out of here. She's over here saying like, hey, she seems a little outgoing and you are a little bit more reserved because there's nothing else that we can attach anything to. Usually, like when you come meet the family, someone as important as my mom, someone as important as my sister, someone as important as my brother, who I told you about his condition and things of that nature, right? I would think that will be the time to open up yourself so we can learn something about you. I showed you my house. I showed you my family. I showed you the family pictures. I showed you my brother. You get what I'm saying? What more and at the end of it, I'm left talking to my sister saying, I don't know if I'm good enough for her. She's like, I don't know this girl.
Right.
We've been sitting down having tea, you know, doing all these things and having beans with toast, whatever they eat in the UK. And I still don't know this girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And only thing I'm left with is you think you may not be good enough for her. Guess what? She may not be good enough for you.
Yeah.
And I think to Blair's point, what she said minutes ago, I think is purposeful and intentional that Kat is doing this, because maybe there's nothing to her.
Maybe.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I appreciated the sister pulling him to the side to really try to like figure out where he's really at, how he's really feeling. Because I can only imagine being around Kat all the time and her nitpicking at you all the time, trying to make you feel just as insecure as she feels. Like that's got to weigh on somebody. And sometimes it takes like a family member or a friend not to pry or to get in your business, but to ask like, how are you really doing?
Yeah.
And if you're talking about like, you don't know if you're good enough, and I'm over here and mom talking about how all the old ladies be looking out their windows at you,
that's
and
nasty,
you're a
though.
Successful funeral director. I'm like, everybody knows like you're some hot stuff. Okay. So you over here talking about you don't know if you good enough. Like that's not even you. That's not even how you think, you know? So
that's it.
Listen,
we need your
No, that's not it. Maria and Tom.
Okay, my fault.
So they are both fine with getting married.
Yeah.
They ask about what he thinks about Maria being Muslim. So Tom says that he has some of the same values from what he knows about the religion. And the sister says, you know, life isn't about what you do or how much money you make. It's about the people that are in your life.
Yeah.
He agrees. Well, Maria makes a look because he was just being judgmental last night.
Very. But don't tell on me, though.
Mom says that love, respect, and consideration is more important than anything else. So the sister talks to Tom like by himself in the kitchen and asks, you know, if there's anything that you think you still need to work on.
Yeah.
He admits that he's not perfect, but he does make Maria feel safe and secure.
Nice.
The sister brings up their dad, and Tom says that he would hope that he would have his approval. And she tells him that it is hard. You know, it's nice that Maria feels open enough to Tom to express how she feels about the loss of her father. So Tom talks to Maria's mom, and mom really had no expectations of the man that Maria would go for, but he thanks her for making him feel so welcome. He asked for the mom's blessing. The mom is apprehensive because she don't know you.
Exactly.
And that is her baby daughter. But they have her blessing. So she hopes that they succeed and that they are good to each other.
Now, here's the only thing I have to say about that. I don't think Tom is a bad guy. I do think he has some blind spots, and that's due to how he probably grew up, probably his environment, maybe even his career. I think Tom will pull in the work to basically smooth whatever rough patches they have and things like that. And hopefully, you know, him and Maria can come together and basically, like, you know, be good before he started judging her because of her occupation and things like that.
And I feel like with Maria, I don't know how transparent she's being with Tom about how important her culture really is to her. Because I feel like with her coming in the pods and she's talked about how, you know, in her culture, dating isn't looked at as good, but she can do her own thing because her family supports her.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what she's doing, but it sounds like she also still holds a lot of those values that's in her religion and her culture. And I think that she needs to let Tom know what her standards are.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get more into that, you know, in other episodes, but by him saying that he shares a lot of the same values, don't sound like it to me.
I think it goes a little deeper, brother.
I think it goes deeper than Tom knows how deep it goes.
Let's keep
going.
I
don't know how transparent she's being with that.
Let's keep going.
So Benaiah is trying to find out if he should be shaking Nicole's dad's hand, hugging the mom. Like what's the appropriate thing to do? Then Nicole's just like, just hug them both.
Okay.
So her parents come over. They explain the love is blind process. Dad says that, you know, she has been married before and not every relationship works. So y'all just need to take one step at a time.
Yeah.
And mom says that it's a matter of patience and just remember that love grows.
True.
So Nicole and Benaiah appreciate her parents' support, and the dad thinks he's a decent man and he hopes the best for the both of them. And I thought that was a decent meeting. Yeah.
Is that the end?
Yes.
Listen, one thing I want to point out about that, she said she'd been married before, and she said that her parents kind of lost faith in her decision making. That's very important to point out. Her decision making is shaky, not even to me, but to her own family. I don't trust Nicole. I don't trust Benaiah, to be honest. Both of them. It's something about them to where I just can't put my finger on it, but it's on it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something about them that it's like, it's just, y'all have a stench to y'all that it's just something just don't smell right about them too. And I don't know, I know something about him, but something about Nicole, the more and more I see Nicole, that make me go, I don't know what it is. Okay. What is your thoughts about this episode overall? I thought it was a good episode.
I thought it was a good episode. I like meeting the family. For me, like with Nicole, I just feel like she comes across a little bit airheaded. Okay. I don't know if she always communicates herself exactly the way that she feels. I don't know if she's trying to avoid expressing herself like bluntly. But I can understand how she could come across as like off a little bit. Yeah. Because I think she's very particular with her words. I don't know if it's because of the TV or she just doesn't know what to say or if she is being sneaky. So it could be all the above. So yeah.
I think she's all those things because she's sneaky. I think it's something off about her. But I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. Let us know what you thought about this episode. We'll be back with the next episode. When? I don't know when I'm going to drop it. All I know is turn on that notification so you will know when I drop the episode.
All right.
Y'all be good.
Bye.